Tracking Hurricane Irma very closely as it approaches the low country. We have some time to watch it, and here's what you want to watch. The model trends. Not every run do you want to see a little move this way, a little move that way, a little move, because you'll drive yourself crazy. What you want to watch is the model trend overall this way or overall that way, and that's what we'll be watching. There will be jogs in the forecast track. We did get one of those today a little farther to the west, and we'll be watching for the interaction with land, especially Florida, as we move into the weekend, and that will affect the intensity. The impacts will be in the southeast, especially Florida, but those will continue to move up the coast and head toward us. It is a 175-mile-an-hour Category 5 storm moving into the Turks and Caicos. The west-northwesterly trajectory is still expected over the next several days. Jose a little bit farther out in the Atlantic Ocean. There's Jose way over there. Not concerned with this storm at that point, or that storm at this point, and we may never be, so we'll watch that one too. But the models are coming into better agreement that there's going to be some interaction with South Florida. That would tend to weaken the storm as it travels farther to the north, but it looks like there's going to be possibly another landfall somewhere from Charleston on down toward Brunswick, Georgia. So we could be looking at a couple landfalls with this storm, and it's going to stay a storm, and that's going to bring us the impacts. As far as how strong it is when it gets here, that's too early to determine, and what the storm looks like when it gets here as far as the track. Current track has it moving through the Turks and Caicos on over toward Cuba as a Category 5 hurricane, then up toward South Florida, possibly as a Category 4. And notice here, it's still a Category 4 hurricane as it's moving over the Florida-Georgia line and then continuing farther north. And that's why we're going to get the impacts here, mainly as we go into the day Monday. Notice we're firmly entrenched in that cone. As long as we're in that cone, we're going to get the impacts. Even if we're not in the cone, we may still get the impacts. So we've got some time to pin down the specifics of this storm. The worst part of the storm is going to be if it landfalls right on top of us. So hopefully not for the folks in South Florida, but hopefully for us, there is some interaction down there, and that would weaken it before it gets here. Now, if it stays offshore, we're going to be looking at some beach erosion. We've seen that with previous storms such as Irene back in 2012, and that caused a lot of beach erosion, destroyed Folly Beach County Park. And if it stays inland, we're going to be looking at the rain and tornado threat. The best thing for us is we have some time to pin down the specifics. That's why I want you to be prepared. We still have time. Get your family plan in order. Make sure everybody's on board with that plan. Make sure if you're going to evacuate, you know where you're going and somebody else knows where you're going as well. They can keep tabs on you. Your supply kit, it needs to be stocked fully at this time. And you can still take care of the outside of your house, your lawn, around the outside, and just keep calm. We're going to get through this together. We're all in the same situation, and we'll watch the storm very closely. For now, we're just watching when it takes that turn to the north, and that's going to determine quite a bit of what we see as we head toward early next week.